Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
When did you really enjoy the last time your own me time or time out? Just for you. No pressure, no appointments, not to meet any expectations from business, family or friends-wise. Just time for yourself. Maybe to recharge your batteries, to reconnect with nature yourself, to reconnect with other people, or maybe to rethink how life is. This is the topic today about ancient future gathering. We will have a nice conversation about, why it is good to reconnect with other people, to gather with like-minded people, to recharge your batteries, and how to connect the ancient wisdom with new business. And today my guests are the both founders of the Ancient Future Gathering. So let's welcome them here on USA Global Radio. And by the way, I guess everybody knows me, but I'm Roland, as always. So let's welcome Zuzana and Wolf. Hi, Zuzana. Hi, Wolf.
Hello.
Hey, Roland. Hey, hello. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us again here on USA Global TV and Radio. And I would like to start with the ladies first, Zuzana. Give us our audience a short background where you're coming from, and what leads you where you are today. Zuzana, can you hear us? Okay, so let's start with Wolf. Maybe let's.
Sorry, I can't hear suddenly. As the show started, I can't hear anything.
Okay, so we start with Wolf, maybe until the technical issues. Wolf, a short background. Who is Wolf and how you became the person you are today?
Oh, that's a very... How to start that? Well, the person I am today, well, I've been producing events now for the last 15 years, and I've been doing ecstatic dances, concerts, ceremonial spaces, retreats, like everything focused on self-development, healing, empowerment. We did men's circles. We hosted so many beautiful people over the years, and I think it all came from a urge of myself. I was studying nutritional science in Vienna, and I tried to, find my way into the system. I was having these practica in laboratories and all of this, and I just realized, okay, at the same time we were doing the events as a hobby, basically, and I just realized, what really matters to me is when the people come together to our events, when the people leave with some gift that they received in these spaces that we create. And I also went through deep processes myself. My mother died when I was 30. That's now almost 8 years ago, and that brought me into a deep process of grief, and I did not really know what to do with it. I was overwhelmed by it, by the suddenness of it. She had cancer. She died in the course of a year. And then I discovered ways of healing of the tribes of the Amazon that work with their medicines, with their way of prayer, with their way of communal coming together in song, in dance, and in yeah, celebration also. And discovering that and knowing that that is out there, I kind of dove deeply into that, and that really gave me strength for my path. And I feel also that's also what's informing all of my work now. These old ways that were kept alive there, that we lost here in Europe, when I think when it even started with the Roman conquest, of the Celtic Druids and everything. I think we had that connection to nature, we had that community, we had these ways of living together, and we lost them, and they still have it. So that really inspired me, and that informs a lot of what I do. And I also feel that these spaces that we create, they're from the feedback I got from a lot of people, they're very, very meaningful to them, very, very important that they exist.
Thank you, Wolf, for sharing your personal story. Zuzana, you're back. What's your personal story? What made you the person you are? Like Wolf said, it was a little bit challenging, some issues. Like myself and many other people, when we experience some trauma or some traumatic things, then it's really a game changer for most of us. We rethink our life. Uh, how about you, Susanna?
Well, for me, it's been a journey of when I was coming out of the university, like still being in this, like wanting to save the world kind of thing, and I worked for the World Bank and for the UN in London. And then I had this realization: we're not here to save anything; we're here to create something which will make what is not working obsolete. So I started really diving deep into what I want to create in this life and what I want to co-create with other people. And I've started organizing these gatherings. It's now been 9 years, and building a community where we can really come together and together conceive what we want the world to look like, and collaborate and exchange ideas and inspire each other.
So when I understand you, probably you have a kind of business background. You're working for a bank, and then you said, okay, uh, let's let's look at the other side of the coin, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So I started like working for a consulting firm in London where we were working on these development projects in the third world. And then I kind of got disillusioned by the way it works, and I saw that it was not really being done in the most nourishing way for the world. And yeah, and then I left and just started working on my own projects, and always trying to bring something which brings something new, whether it's to my country, to the region, or something innovative, something new that would shift the perspective or the paradigm.
100%. Guys, I mean, when you change something in your life, and maybe some people can refer to it. When you really look deep in your side, what you really want, what is your calling, what is your purpose, it's sometimes it's very hard, and you have to be very brave and courage to do so. So what helped you to follow your calling? Because most people, I strongly believe that everybody has a calling, but not everyone is picking up the phone. So, what made you picking up the phone and yeah, and keep going? Maybe Wolf, you want to start?
Yeah. Um, well, it's this realization that when we really put our hearts to something, when we really do something from conviction, I feel let's call it the greater field around us. Everything is kind of interconnected, and I feel like the field around us just rearranges itself towards our heart's calling. But we have the courage to walk it, and then the path will appear. So I believe. Yeah, that is also what gives me conviction and strength. And sometimes also it's not obvious at first that all the things that we do will actually make sense. Sometimes there's obstacles, sometimes there's struggles. But I learned that when we really believe in something that is important to our soul, in a way, to our heart, our inner truth,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Susanna, how
Yeah,
about
and
you?
for me, it's always trusting the unknown, trusting life. Even when I was leaving the corporate world or this international relations, I had no idea what I was going to do, but I just always listened to this inner voice, to this deep intuition that my soul came here for a reason, and it's always subtle because the social conditioning, what the family tells you, what the society tells you, is always so loud. And then just being brave and listen to your own deep, deep voice and knowing in your heart as where you are being guided, yes, has been the way for me. And it's why I always surrender to what feels most aligned for my path.
So, Susanna, how did your family react? Or your close friends? You have a job in London. We all educated, trained, go to school, get good note, good marks, and go to university, find a decent job, make some career, make good money, lifestyle. And then I said, okay, I kick everything overboard and just do something new. How did your family, friends react? It looks like we have some technical problems and she's gone. So yeah, sometimes it's really tough. As I mentioned, we go to school, getting good marks. That's what our parents tell us. Our aunties and uncles tell us, and our friends and the society, and then we skip everything overboard. Like I did my career, I gave it up my career for something what people think is very crazy. So let's hear Susanna what she thinks about it.
Could you please repeat the question because I dropped out again with the sound?
Okay, no problem. I said, can you tell our audience how reacted your family when you give her a good, decent job? You went to school, you were in university, you gave a good job in London on a bank. That's what most people desire, have a good job to afford a good lifestyle. And then they said, no, that's not my life anymore. I follow my calling. How did your parents and close friends react, and how did you react?
Well, for me, it already started actually while I was working at the job. I started to actually have physical symptoms of like actual stomach ache and actually having this strong feeling like this is not it. I don't belong here. This is not my path. And I just had to follow it. And I think my family trusts me in that. Like I've always been different and always lived very unconventionally. So they kind of just are like, yes, we let her do what she wants, and I was always able to somehow support myself and find ways how to continue by this trusting, exactly by trusting and by not knowing. The way always showed itself, always. It's almost like with the future, this is an ancient future gathering. So we want to build a world, but we don't know yet. We have to surrender into this trusting, just like when a woman is pregnant and she doesn't have a plan how it's going to be, how exactly the baby is going to come out, but she trusts, she surrenders, and then it births, then it happens. So this is how I think it will be with the new paradigm, with the world we want to live in, when we collectively surrender into trust. And that's how it's been in my life as well. Just like show me.
Okay, doc. I have a following question to you. What is your advice to young women who maybe have parents and they finance their universities, their studies, and then they said, no, no, I don't follow this path. And maybe they're too shy, maybe they feel guilty or even ashamed and said, okay, I cannot disappoint my parents or my grandparents or their whole family who are waiting for me to do a career. What is your advice to young ladies how they can follow their calling or what they should do? Or what's your advice on this?
Well, we are here and we have to discover our essence, why we came here. And no one is going to do this for us. We're not doing it for our parents. We're not doing it for the society. And you will feel it, like your frequency and your energy will rise whenever you do something which is aligned with your soul mission. And the frequency of guilt and shame is just going to make you feel like lower. You're just going to live a life that is half asleep. And I feel like right now we are at an era where, AI and robots are going to replace all the people who are like just robots working asleep, doing something which they don't really love, which doesn't light them up. So anyway, this is going to be an era where we all have the chance to actually step into our soul mission and what ignites us. And so I would advise them to go for it, to take the heart courage to light up your soul and be the role model for everyone around you.
Thank you. Wolf, how about you? How did you follow your calling despite any obstacles on the way? And what's your advice for young men? How to thrive around obstacles to follow their direction, their own calling?
Well, I spent a lot of time debating while I was studying if I shall finish it, if I shall push through with it, and it was like kind of, when I was, like I said, I was studying nutritional science, and I was having all these exams, all these practica and laboratories, and I was like, wow, I don't think I can do this for the rest of my life. I cannot even stand behind like all the companies that would employ me. I also did other things. I had side jobs. I was modeling, trying for a bit also, and also there, same thing. I was like, I cannot use myself in a way to represent somebody else where I cannot fully stand behind how they operate, what they are for. So for me, it was a long process. I think it took 4 or 5 years to fully decide, okay, let's go all in on this other path of creating spaces, basically, for people to feel themselves more, to get empowered, to gather in community. And in retrospect, I wasted a lot of time just thinking about it and feeling, is it right? Can I do it? And I got a lot of resistance from my family, from my parents, and so I was like, no, you have to stay on the traditional path. It's the safest. And I actually regret not going all in earlier, because I think with going all in, also there something shifts within ourselves, and also, like I said before, like in the general field around us, it will respond to that. So now I'm experiencing that since a while, that things will fall into place indeed, and I think it's about trusting that, and also trusting to walk into the unknown in a way, and trusting that life will provide, basically.
100%. Now, guys, you both, as far as when we talk background, you organized one-day events most of the time. Now you said, okay, let's step to the next level. We do a 4-day event, an international one, 4 days. That's a different number. That's a different level. Was it scary in the beginning, to be honest? Or did you say, okay, let's go and have the courage to leave some gaps? We don't know everything, but just let's go. What was the first month look like?
Well, I would like to start with this because for me, there's some saying that the luck is always on the side of the silly ones, or the ones who don't think too much. So when I first did a 4-day event 4 years ago, and I had no idea what I'm going into, and then as it was coming out, I was like, wow, there's so much to organize. But then it just happens. Like, if I knew, I would have probably never done it. And the reason why we're doing these longer events is because like we did 3-hour events, and then 1-day events, and now we're expanding to 4-day events, because it's not about an escape or like coming somewhere and then going back into your everyday life and like going back, but by expanding it to retreats, to actually whole life living in a community or in a hub where you can be surrounded by this energy, you have this support network where you suddenly realize, like, oh, this is normal. Like I can feel fully empowered. I can feel in my heart. I can feel connected to myself. And just expanding it to as much as we can in our life. So this was the reason, and it is super difficult, and even now, but because now there's more founders, we now connected together. We are like pillars that can hold more mass, like when you're building a building, when it's just you, like it kind of falls down, you cannot carry so much. And this is the same, I think, with the whole world. Like if we are like light bulbs around the world, like this grid, that we can carry more, we can carry this transformation or whatever much more. So yeah, even in the festivals, we feel we are not alone for all of this.
100%. I like your example of this different pillars. It's the same when you have one rope or you bring together many ropes, and then you can really hold much more weight than each one of you. Wolf, how was it for you? You said, okay, rock and roll, I'm a man, nothing to lose, I'm a warrior, or was Zuzana the strong one behind?
Honestly, like in the initial phases, I'm always like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. And we started planning this specific gathering. So I've been feeling to do a festival since 4 or 5 years, yeah. And I was trying to do it with another good friend of mine, but she had another project going on every year. And we realized, okay, it's not the moment to do this together. And then I was waiting, and I was doing my other events all the time. And then Zuzana, she's a very good friend of mine. We were talking, and then it just came naturally that maybe that's the next step, to collaborate together and also to bring our communities together, because I was basically building up the Austrian community where a lot of work already had happened before over the last 20, 30 years. So there's a strong spiritual transformational community in Austria. And me and my friend Daniel and now also my friend Mira, we're doing the ecstatic dance together there, and it's like a community pillar in a way, where people come again and again and again. And I have it with the smaller events. Each time in the beginning it's like, yeah, let's go, and then there's always this phase where it's like, all the execution, all the talks with the people who are there, all the artists, and then also to motivate the people basically and invite the people into the space, let the people feel what we're actually creating. And then sometimes not knowing until the last 2-3 days if we actually fill the event. And I realized I get stressed each event again and again. And then at the end of it, it's always full and it's always beautiful. And then I'm like, wow, why did I stress myself actually? I could have not stressed myself and it would have happened anyway. But then I'm like, okay, maybe if I wouldn't have stressed myself, I would not have done the things that were necessary to do. And now also, like in this process with the festival, it was way longer than usual. Usually we have a production time of 2-3 months maximum. And now it's been going on since last June. I think we planted the seed, and in July we were already looking for the location. We had the location in August, and then it was going, and then it was like, yeah, we have so much time, it's all gonna be good. And then in January, when we were about to release all the homepage, the lineup and everything, the location we had booked initially, they canceled on us because they were afraid of too many people coming basically. And then it was the question, okay, now it's already January, like you're supposed to promote a festival already in October, November, so we were already 3 months late in a way, or 4 months. And then it was the question, okay, what do we do now? Do we just skip it or do we push through? And then I felt this deep sadness in me where I was like, okay, if we cancel it now, it would be really sad. It's like a whole half year kind of work wasted. And then we
Yes. Wolf, are you still there? Or maybe your network is a little bit hanging. Okay, it's reconnecting, coming to stage.
yeah, then we decided, sorry about that. Then we decided to push through, just like now my browser just closed for some reason. So we were like, okay, well, what do? We have to find a new location, and it's surprisingly hard to find a location. Maybe you can mute yourself, Roland, quickly. Where we can find a location that is like, what we actually need. And it took us 2 months. I visited, I think, 9, 10 locations all by myself in Austria. in Slovakia, also with Zuzana together. And then at the very end of March, a good friend gave us the tip, okay, have a look at Papai Tabak. What they created there. And it's a beautiful couple that lives there since many years. They were living in Tulum for quite some time, and they managed to build this beautiful Bali Mexican style house at the beach there and create a little sanctuary of beauty. You know, they have 2 lakes there, they have a lot of nature, there's like all these birds, all these animals, and it's just amazingly beautiful. And then we were like, okay, that's the one, that's it, let's just go with it. And then it was end of March, so not a lot of time left, but we decided to do it anyway.
Love
Yeah,
it.
and as
Never
Wolf
giving up.
said, yeah, and
Go ahead.
almost it feels like this festival has its own being, like it's a being itself, and it shows us like, okay, I want to be born here at this place, not at the place that you guys planned, or it just shows us, and we need to listen to it. It has a very strong field already from the beginning. And it also requires us to transform ourselves to be able to hold the field that will happen at the festival. So it's we as founders, as the connection to it, to the vision, to the divine, like we actually have to cleanse and transform everything within us that is not aligned with the vision of this festival. So it's been really, it's not just the organizational part, but it's also the personal transformation that is going on at the same time.
Lovely. Love that. Before we step deeper in the gathering and what's going on and where it's placed and where it is, so for our audience, just wait a second, stay in the show. We will tell you and share the website. I have a following question to Wolf, because Wolf, you mentioned something very, very important in a short phrase. You said, I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I can refer to this because this happened to me again, also with a show that was supposed to be co-hosted with a partner of mine, and she didn't come, and I was waiting and waiting, and my best friend said, you know what, just go for it. So I want to stick a little bit to that, because I know a lot of people are waiting for a partner, are waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the best timing, and we're just waiting. So a lot of people are standing at the bus station waiting for something. And maybe they're standing on a bus station waiting for a ship, or they're waiting in a train station waiting for an airplane. What are your thoughts about, or your advice for people who wait for the never coming perfect moment just to start, and then we go to the gathering?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to listen to this inner voice that will tell you when something needs to happen. And from my experience, the circumstances are never fully, completely right for anything in a way. You know, there's always something you need to take care of. There's always something you need to work more on. I also have a side job that I'm working at the moment to be able to do the festival, basically. And it takes a lot of energy out of me. And I was working that job. And then in the hours after the job, I was just continuing to work on the festival. And I had now a couple months where I basically did not have any breaks at all. And I was also like reaching a deep burnout, actually, like I would say 4 weeks ago, and finally managed to take a couple days off. But I think what I can tell to the people is that, you know, there's this saying that when you walk the path will appear. And I think that's very true with anything. And it's just about choosing which path is worth walking to you, because every path has obstacles, every path has challenges, any path. So which one is most important to you, which one is most true to you, and which one can you, I always think, like, when I'm like, I don't know, with all the technological advancements and everything that's happening right now, I don't know how far they will go with life extension, but let's leave that out. Let's say when we're like 90, 100, maybe, I don't know, when I will be in bed and dying, but like when I will look back, what will I be proud of? What will I regret not have done? And this is for me a good compass. Like, what will be the old Wolf thinking, when he could give advice to me now? And he would say, man, you need to do the things, because there's important things that need to happen on this planet, and there's to make the bridge now to this collective transformation that I feel like needs to happen. I feel like it's everybody has their part to play. And when we listen to these inner voices, and when we step up to that path that is calling us, the whole field will react, and it's a communal field. It's like a shared field, a collective field, and it takes millions and millions and millions of people stepping into their truth, stepping into their knowing, what is actually true to me, what is important to me, and then walk that. And if enough people do that, then the field will become very, very strong.
100%. We actually, we all connected. Yeah, all beings are connected. Humans and animals and plants, we're all connected. And this brings us to the next topic of our conversation about the gathering itself. It's all about being connected with people, with like-minded people. People are open to this. So tell us a little bit about, Zuzana, about the festival, and I will show, or we will bring up also the website if it's okay for you, and you explain a little bit what's going on, and then we go step by step a little bit deeper. So Zuzana, tell us a little bit about the gathering, where it's placed. Maybe first, why somebody should not miss it.
Well, as we said, like the festival is like this conception point, this incubation space where you really get connect. We want to create space for people to be able to connect to their essence, to connect to their true calling and to their authenticity, and then get supported by everyone else who is there and create connections and collaborations to the others, where the festival is just going to be the beginning of something greater, which will happen afterwards. So it is called Ancient Future because we're combining, the indigenous ancient knowledge and the rituals, the tribal, the connection with nature, together with the progress, the modern societies, the AI, everything, the entrepreneurs, the startups that are already building their conscious businesses. We are bringing all these people together so they can become like this mosaic together that will be stronger, and going from the competition model to the collaboration model, and so we can create a world and a space that is not extracting but nourishing for all of us. And it's happening in Hungary, 1 hour from the capital of Slovakia, 2 hours from Vienna, the capital of Austria, and 2 hours from Budapest in Hungary. And yeah, we're connecting these cultures together, the Hungarian, Slovakian, Czech, and Austrian community, because it's one of the reasons why we do it is to unite, to see what unites us rather than what separates us, and to bring all these people and countries that were separated for so long through the Iron Curtain, the East and the West, the different cultures, different languages together to speak one universal language of our soul, of our essence. So yeah, this is why you can see here, rooted in Hungary, but created by these different communities. So we have also our Hungarian organizers who have been doing events just like us for 10 years. And on the website, if you go down, you can see the lineup. So we have a lot of musicians who will come to play. We have a lot of facilitators who will do workshops and different themes to help us with the transformation, with connection to ourselves, to the others, and shedding all the layers of conditioning that we've acquired to fully step into what we want to do in this world. And then we have speakers as part of the Emergent Future Village that will give talks, lots of visionaries, change agents that are already doing specific projects to help create the beautiful future we all remember. So ancient future, because we all remember the future already within us, within our DNA, within our codes. We just have to remember the ways and bring it forward.
Very nice. Wolf, why should a man come? It's called Ancient Future Gathering. And I remember when a friend of mine, Daniel, when he approached me and said, "Hey, there's a gathering. It's Ancient Future," and I was pop, Ancient and Future sounds good, because some people are really, I don't misunderstand me, but too much in their roots, and too much in their past, and not in the future, in the present. Some people are not in the past, not in the present, but too much in the future. So to bring this together, this ancient wisdom and this new future in challenging time like this, and I guess every one of us is experiencing a shift it's economic, it's political, whatever, it's from the environment. We are facing challenging times, and I think there's nothing better than take the ancient wisdom and bring it combined with the new technologies to a brighter future. What's your plan with this gathering, and what kind of people should come or yeah, benefit from this gathering, from this reconnection?
Yeah, like you said, it's like a combination of in a way two themes, yeah, the ancient and the future. And for me, it's also actually beyond that. It's like Zuzana said, also it's in a way an incubator or a gathering point, a communal meeting point, and I like to call it also like a synchronicity accelerator. So synchronicity is that's a term that Carl Jung coined, is when, like, like unexpected things happen that you could not have foreseen otherwise, and they're kind of, like when you walk the path and then you meet someone, you have a conversation that leads to the next thing, or when you unexpected things that help you on your path, I would say. Yeah. So when a lot of people come together with the same intention, and there will be a lot of people that have been working on themselves for many, many, many years, deep healing work, prayers, ceremonies. Maybe they're not so rooted in their business life. Yeah, maybe they're not so rooted in their financial life. Maybe they have struggled with that. And then there's gonna be business people that are working on their projects. There's some of my friends are CEOs, and they're like, they're just constantly pushing themselves, and some of them they lost the connection to their body, lost the connection to their heart. So for me, it's like to bring both of these worlds together, because one way to change the world, for me, is like within the system also to do business that is more regenerative, that is more sustainable, that has maybe different governance principles, more like a co-op style, instead of the hierarchical top-down model. And yeah, I think it's for everybody who feels like they want to connect with their tribe, who feels like they're missing their people, their community, because I also feel like one of the biggest pains that we have as a people, as humanity, is the fact that we're not growing up in tribes anymore. It's been happening like this for 200,000 years. We've been growing up in small bands, 100, 150 people. Everybody knew each other. You knew where you belong. You knew where you came from. You have your rituals. You have your songs. And now we have these cities. We have these villages, and it's very disconnected. And in a way, we're very connected through social media and through through the internet. But then everybody's kind of in their own little struggle. Like also families, like people used to help each other raise children, and now it's all on one couple. So for me, it's kind of a seed in a way what we're doing, to build community in a way, to also what we said before, to also join our communities, the Austrian one, the Slovak one, the Hungarian one, but also all the countries in the area, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Croatia, Germany, Poland. There's like, we're in Central Europe. We're all connected by this river, the Danube, and maybe that's a bit controversial, but there's these videos on YouTube, yeah, that you can watch them, how the borders changed over the last 2,000 years in Europe, yeah, and how random it is, how random these lands are. So I'm a firm believer in no borders and no nations. I believe it's good to have your identity, to have your culture, but I don't believe it makes a lot of sense to have all these barriers, all these borders where we're separated and they're different than us, and this village is better than this one and this one and this one. And I think this next era of humanity is about coming together. And this is just one little seed for that, and we also plan to expand it. So now it's the Ancient Future Gathering, but also next year in March we're planning to do the Emergent Future Conference, where the focus will be more fully on the business aspect, and all the healing and the prayer and the music, it will also have its place, but it will be more on the side. And this time it's a bit the other way around. It's more prayer focused, and the business side is more I would say 30-40%. And then in the future, we also, of course, we're looking at lands, in Central Europe, also like on islands like Madeira, to also form physical communities, because I also believe it's going to be important for the future to have actual working communities that are actually functional and that implement all the things that we kind of theorize about. Because it's one thing to theorize about something, like how can we live together, how can we operate together, and then actually living it, like everybody likes to, they say everybody likes to go to ceremonies, but nobody likes to do the dishes, in a way. Yeah. So how is it then really to spend time with people and take responsibility for something, take responsibility for the land, to also, like invest your money into a land. If you share it with people, it's all a question of commitment and of stepping up to what is true to you. And with our gathering, we want to plant a seed, and we want to do this for many, many, many years. So this is the first gathering. So I would say also to people who wanna come now, like, you have a chance to be to be part of something special, of something very meaningful, and of something that happens the first time. So if you bring your energy and if you feel the calling to be there, you will co-create this field together with us. You will add to it. You will make it easier for everybody who will join these things in the future, and you will help it grow.
Yes, and just like Wolf said, like in the tribes, they always had a way of everyone had their role and their place. And I think now we're coming to an era where we can all remember. When we remember our true essence, we also remember our role within the collective. So just like the cells within the body, they know exactly what works in order for the whole universe of our body to be working properly. So when we are connected to our true essence, we also know our roles, and then we can self-organize as the new world. We don't have to plan it exactly with our head, and we have to learn how to then also not be so isolated and work as a collective, because we forgot what it means to help each other really without the transaction of money being in it. Like we get replaced, like, okay, we get someone to cook for us, we get someone to get the food for us, and we just pay for it. And the money creates this delay, which takes us a little bit away from this natural cycle in nature, how the nature works, and how we would work as a whole organism together as society. So I have also visited a lot of tribes that still live in a certain way, or societies, even in China, Tibet, where they live a completely different paradigm for 1,000 years. And it's just fascinating that we live in a certain paradigm here in the Western world, and we haven't even questioned it, but there's like so many different ways. So we are here to explore these new ways and to get connected to the nature more and take nature as part of ourselves and becoming part of the nature.
Can I add a little bit to that?
Sure.
Because I do think in the West we actually do question how we live, and many people have that feeling, like from all the talks I had with people, that something is not quite right how we do the things. But then the question always is, but how else would we do it? Like communism didn't work, and that was also a hierarchical structure. I don't think that any of the isms that we tried to implement so far has been the right model. Yeah. So it's kind of this again from before, it's kind of this inner knowing and to walk the path, but then it's not even like, it's not only a personal path, but it's a collective path. So we need to collectively find the courage to explore what is the path for humanity forward. Because I'm always also thinking, like, how would an advanced civilization operate if you go to another planet? How would they organize themselves? What technologies are they using? How are they gathering? How are they feeling inside also? And I feel we're far from that. I feel like we're very, very primitive as a society, and we have all these technologies and all this wisdom, but it's not getting implemented properly. So we're also, like, in a way, a exploratory laboratory for that, for talks to happen, and also for a narrative shift, because I think that's also one of the most important things that is missing globally right now, is a narrative. Where can we actually go as a people? how will that society look like? And there's like people like Charles Eisenstein who wrote books like The More Beautiful World, Our Hearts Know Is Possible. There's the whole solar punk movement that is, like more, it's like the opposite of cyberpunk, that is very dystopian, and solar punk is kind of very the utopian version of that. Like, how can we be in harmony with nature, with the technologies that we are developing and that we have? Because there is so much epicness going on in the field of progress, like technological, like in AI, in in the biosciences, there's just magic happening. But then if we operate in the old capitalist paradigm where everything just needs to make a profit, it's like a shame. Like for me, I think money in itself is quite neutral, and that is also kind of the problem about it, that it does not have an inherent value compass. It's like if a company is founded and the end goal is like to make money, it's like the wrong anchoring point in a way. The anchoring point should be like, what can this contribute to the world, and how can the world be more beautiful? And then if we still use money in the future, great, if it works. Yeah, but if the compass is just the money, it's just a profit, it's like it's a bit stupid. Yeah, in my opinion, it's just a shame. So I want to open also that narrative field to be established, and have all the people bring their own voice, their own ideas, and get this kind of hope for the future, because I think our society is lacking that. There's a lot of things that are going wrong on the planet. All the wars, all the leaders that are so disconnected, that are still like all these old disconnected leaders that are in a way, like doing things like we're it's painful to watch in a way. And I think there's also a new generation coming now, like Gen Z, that are feeling all of this. You see all these Gen Z protests, but then it's also like the protest against the system that is already established. And then what? Yeah, I think protesting against something has its place, but I'm more for building something that we believe in. I think it's way stronger, because then that comes into reality.
I 100%
Yeah,
agree
and
with
I
you.
would like to add, um, yes, I would like to just add also to what Wolf is saying, that we have been outsourcing our powers a lot. So our connection with, in a way, our superpowers, our intuition, we have the ability maybe to be telepathic. A lot of these powers we are outsourcing now to technology, and we are able to live longer. We have the biohacking, the longevity. But if we, at the same time as we're doing this, if we're expanding our own powers that are within ourselves, then we're invincible, rather than just outsourcing it, because then we're becoming more asleep, and we are giving away basically our power.
I 100% agree with you guys. Yeah, I just stick to a quote on your website. I want to add it again. It says, a festival for people who carry another future within. And that's what both you mentioned. It's not about when we are unhappy with the situation that we destroy it or demonstrate or fight against it, so that we build something new. We build something new without forgetting where we're coming from. I'm taking the good from the past to combine it with the good what we have now and build something absolutely, totally new. That's what I like this approach. That's why I stick to this quote. And what you also mentioned is, a lot of people don't feel themselves anymore because they're not connected to nature, to the higher self, and so they're not connected to themselves. And I think the festival is a good chance also for people who feel a little bit something is wrong, but it's not coming from us. Or some people who said, I don't feel myself. I'm so caught in my treadmill, and I'm so caught in my hustling, or maybe I'm caught in my survival mode on the other way, on the financial side. Maybe I take this time out with like-minded people and take the me time for me to feel myself and to reconnect myself, with the higher source, whatever you want to call it, God, higher source, you want to call it the universe, with nature and other people. Um, yeah, that's I just wanted to share this again because I really love this quote. It's about building something new.
And I also want to add, it's also about enjoying. It's also about, having fun. It's about meeting new people. It's about dancing, singing, being barefoot on the dance floor, there's a certain magic to that when like the people dance with you and you synchronize with them. And I feel like, if you're in your suit all day and you're in business meetings and you want to have a bit of a timeout, it's also for that. And it's for the people, because now we talked a lot about all the things we're going to build, and it's the actual festival. It's going to be also very, very enjoyable. It's going to be very beautiful, and it's going to be very, very touching. A lot of the musicians that we're calling in, they've been carrying their prayers and their songs for many, many, many years. There's amazing people like Nessie Gomez, like Chira Honikoin. Also, one of my favorite down-tempo DJs, Suduaya, is coming. There's going to be a lot of good dancing and a lot of just breathing out and being like, oh wow, this life is actually fucking incredible. So I also wanna emphasize that.
Yeah, like celebration is such an important part of it all, like the actual celebration and the joy, because that's where we raise our frequency. Only when we really raise our energy and frequency, we can really truly then have the courage to do the necessary step to connect with what we really want to do in this life. And also this place is such a beautiful oasis, like really this huge lake where you can just swim all day. We have a sauna, we have a cold plunge, so it's also going to be like this wellness place where you can recharge.
I like it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, dear audience, don't hesitate. The place to be end of August is in Papa, like Daddy, in Papa in Hungary, Thursday 27th to Sunday 30. I'm going to be there. I have also the honor to do a speech about leadership. And I love to come because one of my favorite, by the way, one of my favorite shamans is already there, is also there. I saw Uma. I spent amazing nights with her celebrating Mama Ayahuasca together in Greece. So it will be a good, we're going to have a good time there. Your final, what is your final takeaway for our audience? Let's start with Zuzana and then Wolf, or other way around, how you want to come out.
Zuzana,
Want to start, Wolf? Yeah.
Well, the final words I would just be saying, we're very happy if you come, and we're very happy if you join the field with us and co-create this gathering with us. If you bring your presence, if you bring your heart, if you bring your prayer, if you bring your soul, if you bring your visions, your talks, your hopes, your fears, there's going to be a place for everything, and we're very, very happy to welcome you.
Yes. And all this is going to be a co-creation of all the people that gather there. So if you feel it in your heart, if you resonate with this gathering, with the field of the gathering, with the energy, then and you have some obstacles to come, you can also write to us. We're very open, and we really want to meet you all personally and really connect to you. Like, this is going to be a intimate gathering where we all get to talk and connect, and yeah, that's why we're also limiting the number of people, so that we can really become this short-term community, and we build up this whole village just for 4 days, but then later on maybe we will build it up and never put it down. So looking forward to see you all.
Thank you, Zuzana. Thank you, Wolf, for joining us. And okay, don't hesitate. Go to the website. You can connect directly from here. It's Ancient Future Gathering. Get your ticket there. And if you organize yourself, as far as I know, purchase 4 get 1 free, or purchase 5 get 1 free, something like that. So there's a chance, if you want to save money, talk to your community, friends and family, maybe your colleagues in business who needs to reconnect with themselves. Bring them all to Papa, and we see each other. I see you when we see us in Papa.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
It's 544. It's you get 4 tickets and you get 5, and then the price reduces quite a bit.
You get 5 for the price of 4. Okay, perfect. Yes. Thank you. All the best. Thanks for putting this together. I know it's a hell of work. I guess we have an amazing party, and to our audience, my last word is for the festival. The festival is as good as the energy you bring in as a delegate. So we're looking forward to come and see you. All the best. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Ciao. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So this was another episode of the MUTMACHER Talk at USA Global TV and Radio. And yeah, an English version, as maybe you find out it's not in German, it was in English this time. And yeah, next Tuesday I'm going to continue in German with the next show. So stay tuned, all the best, and we see us soon next Tuesday. Thanks and bye-bye.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.